Hello StoryLine users. This is Owen Holt with a quick tutorial on how you can create a print functionality within your projects to allow your users to print anything in your StoryLine projects. So we're going to start by looking at the player properties in StoryLine. And I think one of the functions that we really underutilize is this new tab function in the player tabs section of the player properties. So you can create a new tab and name it anything, and when you do that, it's going to appear along the top bar here, and of course you can move it along the top bar using the up and down arrows here. You can choose whether or not to hide it or show it in your projects, but creating a new one allows you, it opens up a trigger wizard, allows you to name it what you want and then execute specific actions. And this is very similar to the trigger wizard within a slide. It does have limited functionality because, again, it affects the player and not objects on the slide itself. So it has some limited functionality here in the action list. But one of those actions is execute JavaScript. And so in this case, I created a new trigger or a new tab. I called it print page in the trigger wizard, and it's executing JavaScript. And the JavaScript is simply the window print JavaScript that I think many of us have become familiar with. It's a very simple line of code. Now, think about the implications here. If I add that, it's going to appear up here on my page, and in my published output, it's going to show up on the published pages as well. So by adding that, I don't have to create this very complex JavaScript construct to create an external HTML page that is a course certificate. I can create a certificate slide in my file, and if I'm providing that print page functionality, users can print their certificate. If I've let users capture notes along the way and I've stored those notes in various variables, I can create a slide that displays those variables, and users can print their notes directly from within StoryLine. I don't, again, have to create this very convoluted, complex JavaScript. I can just one line of code and add it to a tab within the player. Nice, simple, clean. So if you're a StoryLine 1 user, I believe this functionality was available in StoryLine 1. It's definitely there in 2, 3, 360. But if you use StoryLine 3 or 360, there's a little bit more that we can do. So I'm going to go ahead and show that to you now. If you're a StoryLine 2 user, hang on. You may want to watch this just because it's one more reason to move up or upgrade. But in StoryLine 3 or 360, we can take advantage of the HTML5 output. And actually, before I get there, let me show you one more thing. So if I click the print page within my browser, I'm going to get my browser's print page window. In this case, it defaulted to my last setting I was saving as a PDF, but I could change which printer I'm going to. That would change to print. I could then print it out. I can change portrait or landscape or whatever I want to about the page. But I'm going to print the StoryLine file that's showing directly within that page. Okay, so again, as promised, 3 or 360 users, there's more that you can do. So here's my published page. I opened up the developer tools window within, I was using Chrome, so this is a view of it within Chrome. But the main thing that I'm doing is I use the little find element icon here, located that print page tab that I had created, and what I see is this name right here, the hashtag tab custom link, and that corresponds with my button ID tab custom link. So that's the name of the button. And that's important because I can use that in some additional JavaScript. So I'm going to show you 4 more lines of JavaScript code. So far, the simple one is just creating it and adding the JavaScript window print. We're now going to actually take and move this button somewhere else in the player and make it look like these buttons down here. That'll be the first 2 lines of code. So I'm going to come back in. Now that I know the name of that button, I'm going to go onto my slide, trigger wizards, add a new trigger. I'm going to execute JavaScript when the timeline starts. And the 2 lines of code that I'm going to use, and this is using jQuery, I'm going to find the volume button. And again, when my developer tab was open, I went in and found the name for that as well, the same way that I found the name for the new button that we had created. I'm going to find that volume button. And then I'm going to find the new button that we created and place it immediately after the volume button. That's what this line of code means. Find the volume, place after it, find the new button that we created, the tab custom link button. This next line of code says take the tab custom link and add a class to it, and that is the button class. Now, how did I know what the button class was? Again, in the developer tool, I looked at the class that was assigned to the other buttons at the bottom of the player, and that's how I determined what it was. So using a little bit of investigation in the developer view, I was able to come up with the information that I needed to make that happen. So I click OK. And now what I've done is I've taken my new button that was created and used to be located here after resources. I moved it down here to the bottom of the page and then formatted it to look like these other buttons. So now I have a print page button in my player. It's a button instead of a tab. Did I have to do that? No, I didn't have to. I just like the way that it looks. Additionally, I can go a little bit further and say, what if I don't want users to print everything? What if I only want them to print certain pages? So if I go back into my JavaScript trigger, so here's where we moved it and then changed the class, and I'm adding a line here to find that button again and hide it. So when a user comes into this course, they're not going to see that print button until I want them to. And then whatever action it is that triggers the event where I want them to be able to print, I need to add JavaScript to that event to now show the button. It's simply hide, show, hide, show. So the way that that looks, here's my published course actually live in the browser window. Again, the tab or the button is gone. It's no longer showing up here. It's hidden down here. I just set it right now so that when I click on the hostess, it shows up. If I click on the text over here, it's going to be hidden again. So I can hide that button until I get to a course certificate page, or I can hide that button until I get to a notes page, and I can show it. And then when they leave that page, I can hide it again. But I can create it all at the very beginning when they enter the course, keep it hidden until I want them to see it. So all in all, 5 lines of code, none of the code very complex. It's a print window, it's find a button and move it, it's find the button and add a class to it, it's find the button and show it, it's find the button and hide it. And with that, you can allow your users to print anything or everything within your course, or very specific things if you're a StoryLine 3 or 360 user. So I hope that's been helpful to you, and happy coding.